What's going on, everybody? It's the Bulls Show, aka Aiden, and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot of needs on this Chicago Bulls team, but one of the bigger needs that we may have to pursue in free agency is the lack of shooting the Chicago Bulls have. Now, we also love reacting to articles on this channel, so we're going to react to an article that suggests two shooters the Chicago Bulls could potentially sign in free agency. And we'll talk about the fit, whether or not they're the right ideal player for the Chicago Bulls. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bulls Show, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls and which addition of shooting would you like to see on this team. Now, granted, I think there are more ways that you could get shooting than just signing players in free agency. In all fairness, you know, if we were to trade into the draft, I'm very positive you could get a good shooter in the draft, even if you're really late down in the draft. I think there are good shooters out there that may need to develop other areas of their game, like a Duncan Robinson when he was undrafted, I believe, you know. Came in as an incredible shooter, but obviously still needs to work on other parts of his game. You know, you could trade for it. I think at the end of the day, there are a lot of shooters that shoot over 40% from three that you could potentially pursue via a trade. You know, if you don't have the financial means to sign them in free agency, a trade might be the right way to go. Or, of course, you could do what this article is suggesting and sign some players that are good shooters to the Chicago Bulls team, which is a desperate need. So, without further ado, let's talk about those two guys. The first one being a player that I think we all know very well because he tortures us every time he plays us, Georges Niang, ladies and gentlemen. I think I said his name right, or Georges Niang, I'm not sure. But anyway, plays for the Philadelphia 76ers. Again, unrestricted free agent, and is shooting well over 40% from the three-point line for a lot of seasons now in the NBA. Now, again, he's a power forward, which is very, very nice to see. So, again, if you're looking for more wing depth as well, that could be a nice addition. And I think this one makes sense because we were targeting guys like Danilo Gallinari in the other offseason, or during last season's offseason. And we're willing to give him a lot of money to join the Chicago Bulls, and he joined the Boston Celtics. Well, Niang is the type of player where I think he's probably not exactly the same as Gallinari, because I think Gallinari was more of a post threat as well, probably more defined offensive player, but Niang can shoot the three ball, high level, 40%, and I think at this point in time, that's what the Chicago Bulls should be looking for, and I don't necessarily think he's going to be massively expensive either. So all I can say is, I am absolutely on board with signing this player. Again, he tortures us so often now that I'd like to see what all the hype is about with him, you know what I mean? I'd like to see him torch another team when he's playing for us in many ways. And look, I get it. Maybe the Chicago Bulls just love to let players get hot from the three-point line, and it's a fact at these days that sometimes we do let players get ridiculously hot from the three-point line. We did it in the play-in tournament as well. So, yeah, at the end of the day, it would be nice to have someone that could do the same thing to another team. And that's what I think Niang provides if he was to join the Chicago Bulls team. Now, you know, unrestricted free agency, it could just be the highest bidder wins. And that could be an issue for the Bulls because, again, you know, we might be financially restricted heading into this free agency period. You obviously need to bring other players back from restricted free agency as well. That could definitely impact how we want to spend our money, stuff of that nature. But I don't think it's going to be a problem to sign him if, you know, we can offer him good money, I would say, and I think he would be willing to accept and join the Chicago Bulls. But of course, you know, Philly might still be interested in that type of player. Maybe Philly would be re-signing him, and I'm sure there'll be competition for a guy that can shoot 40% from the three-point line. So we're not going to be the only team in for him, I would say. But let's move over into the next player. This one, a little bit more of an interesting one. I guess, you know, they call them the Splash Brothers in terms of Steph and Clay. Well, what about his actual brother? Steph Curry, but Seth Curry, ladies and gentlemen. You know, terrible joke, I apologize, but yes, the player that we'll be talking about is Seth Curry. Now, Seth Curry is a shooting guard slash point guard. He's very similar to some of the guards that we have on this team in relation to he's more of a combo guard in the sense that I don't think you can clearly identify what best position he plays in. He's a guy that can play in the point position, but he's also a guy that can be playing in the shooting guard position. He shoots well over 40% from the three-point line for the majority of his career. He's one of the most efficient three-point shooters in the game today. One of the most efficient three-point shooters of all time. And it'd be nice to have someone of that caliber on this Chicago Bulls team. I'd very much be interested in Seth Curry. There are key issues there that I would I would have to like really think about over a guy like Niang, in the sense that he does play the guard spot. We do have a lot of guards, but we don't really have a true point guard, and Seth Curry is not really a true point guard in my eyes. But at the same time, if we're going to keep this team the same, DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine, if they're going to be the primary ball handlers on this team, leaving the point guard / shooting guard, I guess, very rarely, I guess, making those plays and taking the ball out and stuff like that, Seth Curry could be a nice addition to this team, because again, he can play on the ball, he can play off the ball, but most importantly, he's a very, very effective three-point shooter, and that could be a very nice addition to the Chicago Bulls team off of the starting lineup and potentially off of the bench. But, you know, I've said for a while that we need a point guard to bring things together. And that's where the issues lie for me, because I don't think Seth Curry is the point guard that brings everything together. I think he's the combo guard that will be the best at shooting. I most definitely think he would play for this team, absolutely. And, you know, he would be a great three-point shooter for this team, just like he has been a great three-point shooter for every team he's been on. But that's where the issues may lie, because I think Seth Curry is obviously the better player as well compared to Niang. But, you know, these are the things we got to consider in the process as well. We have so many guards already on this team, yet we're still looking for that big point guard. Are you going to bring Seth Curry in and bring a big point guard? Does that mean, I mean a true point guard? Does that mean you're going to let go of guys like Ayo Dosunmu in free agency? Are you going to let go of guys like Kobe White in free agency? Stuff of that nature? You know, interesting and compelling arguments. What I would do is I would try to see if both of them are first willing to join the Chicago Bulls in free agency, because if one of them says they're not interested in coming here, well then, you know, it could be a very easy decision, because I would definitely consider both of those guys as really good three-point shooters to have on this team, and nice place to spread the floor as well. But again, I think Niang probably fits what we need more. A power forward, someone that can play in those bigger areas. Yes, he's defensively probably not the best, but I think we have a good enough defensive team around him to make things work. You got Alex Caruso on this team. You got guys like Patrick Williams on this team that can definitely improve the defensive nature of this team. Zach LaVine has been an improved defender recently. If you bring back Patrick Beverley, that could be a nice, interesting idea on the defensive end. You know, we can cover probably those weaknesses within Niang. The same way we cover a lot of the weaknesses with Vucevic on the defensive end as well. And what he brings to the table could be very nice to have. So, let's wait and see. All in all, 2 shooters right there. What do you think in the comments below? Would you go and pursue another shooter? Maybe you're looking for a 3-and-D guy instead of just a natural three-point shooter. You know, there are a lot of conversations there. But those 2 guys I don't think are getting paid a whole lot. And those are 2 guys I think are definitely acquirable. And maybe they're willing to join this Bulls team and take us to the next level and fix a lot of the needs that we do have. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next Chicago Bulls video. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care and peace.